Hello and welcome to a culinary project. Today we're gonna make a burnt Basque cheesecake. Yes, you heard me right, a burnt Basque cheesecake. The idea about this cheesecake is to bake it at very high temperature so you get that nice dark crust on your cheesecake, and it kind of, when you take it out of the oven, it will kind of collapse and it will be very nice and creamy in the middle. So basically everything that can go wrong with a cheesecake will go wrong with this one, and it's on purpose, and I promise you it's gonna be delicious. Let's get started. Take a 9-inch springform and take a little bit of butter on a piece of paper and make sure you grease your springform very thoroughly, and that will help you when we're gonna put our baking parchment inside. Then it will stick to the form and make things a lot easier. And remember to liberally grease the sides as well, because we want the whole tin to be covered with some baking parchment. I cut a round piece of parchment paper that would fit on the bottom of the springform, and then I cut 2 pieces that will fit on the sides of the springform. Remember, the pieces on the side need to be a little bit taller than the springform, because the cake will grow a little bit over the edge of the springform. Now put that aside. In a large mixing bowl, take 684 grams of cream cheese, 250 grams of white sugar, 3 grams of fine sea salt, and 45 grams of all-purpose flour. Combine cream cheese, sugar, salt and flour with a spatula until it's very smooth and creamy. When everything is combined and smooth, add 2.5 grams of vanilla extract and the zest of 1 lemon. Change your tool from the spatula to a whisk and add 1 egg. And start whisking and add the remaining eggs one by one and whisking it into the batter. It is important to add the eggs one by one and whisking them into the dough to create some kind of emulsion, otherwise the dough will split. The eggs in the burnt Basque cheesecake is responsible for the rise and will create almost like a souffle consistency and a very fluffy interior of the cheesecake. When you have added your eggs and combined it in the dough, add your 295 milliliter of cream and give it a final mix to make sure that everything is combined and smooth. Pour the batter into your 9-inch springform that you prepared earlier. Tap the springform against the counter to burst any excess air bubbles. Bake in a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius until puffed, very well browned and nearly burned on the edges. It will take around 50 to 55 minutes. When the cheesecake comes out of the oven, it should be very jiggly, almost like a souffle, and immediately you should see that it will start to collapse. Leave it to cool for just about 20 minutes and take off the springform and transfer it to a plate and cool it off for another 4 hours before you slice into it. This was my first time making the burnt Basque cheesecake, and I was really surprised with the flavors and the textures of this cake. It has a nice burnt crust and a fluffy, soft interior, and it's really delicious. It's the best cheesecake that I have ever tasted. And I served it up with some mixed berries jam that I made, but you can really serve it up with any compo or jam that you like. You can see I cannot hide my excitement about this cake. This recipe is from Chef John on Food Wishes. So go and check out the original recipe, because I converted this one to grams and milliliters. And I hope you enjoyed watching. See you next time.